What if I told you the loudest way to change your life is through complete silence? It sounds strange, does it not? But silence is not just about being quiet. It is a secret weapon. It heals your mind. It sharpens your focus. And it brings peace in a world filled with noise. If you want to unlock your mind and bring calm back into your life, please like this video, subscribe, and stay with me till the end, because silence might be the one thing you have been missing all along. Section 1. The hidden superpower of silence. Silence. It is more than just the absence of sound. It is not empty. It is powerful. In a world where everything moves fast, where phones buzz, cars honk, and voices overlap, silence feels rare, even strange. But here is the truth. Silence is not a void. It is a space where healing begins, a space where the mind can breathe. Science now confirms what ancient wisdom always knew. Silence is medicine. It heals the mind, the body, and even the spirit. Think about this. When your mind is always surrounded by noise, it is always working, always reacting, always processing. That creates stress. It drains your energy, and it clouds your thoughts. Now imagine this. You step away. You close your eyes, and for just a few moments, you hear nothing. That moment of silence is like pressing a reset button. Your brain finally rests. Your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure drops. You feel lighter, even if you did nothing. But it does not stop there. A study from 2013 revealed something surprising. When you spend just 2 hours a day in silence, your brain starts to grow. Yes, grow. The hippocampus, the part of your brain that controls memory and learning, actually starts to form new brain cells. Not because you are studying or working hard, but simply because you allowed silence to take over. Is that not incredible? Silence, by itself, helps you learn better, remember more, and focus with greater clarity. It is like a superpower, but one we rarely use. And unlike most tools for growth, silence costs nothing. It is always available. It just requires a little space and a little willingness. But why is silence so powerful? Because in silence, you are no longer distracted. There are no screens, no notifications, no background noise. Just you and your thoughts. And for some, that can feel uncomfortable. Because when everything is quiet, you finally hear the voice inside. At first, that voice might feel anxious or uncertain, but over time, it begins to settle. It begins to speak clearly. And that is where transformation begins. Silence also helps you hear the world more deeply. The rustle of leaves, the rhythm of your own breath, the beating of your heart. Suddenly, you become aware, present, centered, and that awareness is the first step to peace. It is how you begin to reconnect with yourself, with your emotions, and with your purpose. Now, let us be honest, silence is not always easy to find. We live in a noisy world, and most of us are afraid of silence. We fill every moment with sound, even if it is meaningless. But if you can learn to make space for silence, even just 5 minutes a day, you will notice a change. You will sleep better. You will think more clearly. You will feel less stressed. And over time, your life will feel more balanced. Because silence is not empty. It is full of answers. It is full of healing. It is full of you, the real you, waiting to be heard. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, stressed, confused, or lost, do not reach for more noise. Reach for silence. Let it wash over you. Let it speak to you. Let it guide you. Because silence is not weakness. It is strength. It is not escape. It is presence. And it is not silence from the world. It is connection to your soul. This is the hidden superpower of silence. Section 2. Finding stillness in a noisy world. We live in a world that never stops talking. Notifications buzz. Cars pass by. Conversations overlap. And even when we are alone, the noise continues through screens, apps, and media. But what if you could find stillness in the middle of all that noise? What if peace was not a place you had to travel to, but something you could create right where you are? Finding silence in a noisy world may sound impossible, but it is not. In fact, it is much easier than you think. You do not need to escape to the mountains. You do not need a soundproof room. What you need is intention. Stillness begins with a simple choice: to pause, to step back, to create space for silence. Start small. Choose one moment in your day, just one, to be quiet on purpose. This could be the first 5 minutes after you wake up, before you check your phone, before the world enters your mind. Sit quietly. Breathe slowly. Let your thoughts pass by like clouds in the sky. That small act, done daily, can create big change. Or try this. Go for a silent walk. No headphones. No talking. Just you, your breath, and the rhythm of your steps. Listen to the world around you. Feel the air on your skin. Watch the trees move. Be present. These quiet walks can become a daily reset, a way to step out of your busy mind and into the calm of the moment. You can also create a quiet space at home. It does not need to be fancy. A chair by the window, a corner with a soft cushion, a small place where you can sit, reflect, and just be. Use this space for silence. Even 5 minutes a day is enough. Over time, this space will become a refuge, a place your mind associates with peace. Stillness does not mean everything around you must stop. It means that inside you, something becomes still, calm, centered. Even in busy places like a train, a cafe, or a noisy room, you can close your eyes for a moment and tune in. Focus on your breath. Feel your body. Detach from the noise and just be still. This is mindful silence. It is not about blocking out the world. It is about not letting the world disturb your peace. You begin to realize that silence is not a place. It is a state of being. The more you practice this, the more control you gain over your mental space. No longer pulled in 1,000 directions. No longer reacting to every sound, every message, every distraction. You become the calm within the storm. And as your inner world slows down, your outer world begins to shift too. You respond more gently. You speak more thoughtfully. You listen more deeply. Stillness becomes your strength. So, how can you start today? Set a time. Even one quiet moment in your schedule is powerful. Remove noise where you can. Turn off music during meals. Take breaks without screens. Drive without the radio. Invite silence back into your day. It will feel uncomfortable at first. Your mind may resist, but with time, it will adjust. And then it will thank you, because inside the stillness, something beautiful happens. You begin to hear your own voice, not the one shaped by others or by the world, but your true inner voice, the one that knows what you need, the one that guides you gently, the one that only speaks when everything else is quiet. In a noisy world, silence becomes a gift, a refuge, a daily act of peace. So pause, be still, and let the silence find you. wherever you are. Section 3. Inner peace begins with silence. Peace does not begin outside. It begins inside. We often search for peace in things, in vacations, in quiet rooms, in music. But true peace is not out there. It is within you. And silence is the key to finding it. When you are silent, your mind slows down, your thoughts settle, your heart softens, and you begin to feel calm. That calm feeling is not random. It is your natural state. You were made for peace. But noise pulls you away. Every sound, every message, every worry, they all take you further from your center. You do not need to fight the noise. You just need to return to silence. Start with one quiet moment a day. Sit down. Close your eyes. Breathe. Let your thoughts come and go. Do not chase them. Do not judge them. Just watch them. That simple act creates space. And in that space, peace grows. You begin to feel grounded, like the earth under your feet. You are not racing anymore. You are resting. You are not hiding. You are healing. You are not weak. You are centered. Silence helps you feel your emotions. You notice what is really going on inside. Sadness, anger, joy, fear, love. You stop running from your feelings, and you begin to accept them. That is peace. Not the absence of emotion, but the acceptance of it. You learn to sit with pain, to breathe through fear, to smile at joy, to hold space for all of it. That is the gift of silence. It holds you without pressure. It listens without judgment. It welcomes without noise. Inner peace does not mean life is perfect. It means you are not shaken by every storm. The wind may blow, but you are still. The world may rush, but you are calm. The noise may shout, but you are silent. This strength comes from practice, and silence is the practice. Take 5 minutes each day. No phone, no screen, just stillness. Sit and breathe. Notice the sounds around you, then go deeper. Notice the silence beneath the sounds. That silence is always there. Even in noise, it lives underneath. It is the silence inside you. It is the space between each thought, the pause between each breath. That is your center. Return to it. Each time you do, peace comes closer. Over time, it stays longer. It becomes part of you. You feel it in your heart. You carry it in your voice. You live it in your actions. Others will notice. They will feel safe around you. They will feel heard. They will feel calm. Your silence becomes a gift to them, because peace is not just for you. It is for everyone around you. And it all begins with one quiet moment. Remember this. Silence is not empty. It is full of answers. It is not weakness. It is strength. It is not distance. It is closeness. Silence connects you to yourself. And when you know yourself, you are at peace. So today, be still. Let go of the rush. Let go of the noise. Let go of the pressure. Sit with yourself. Feel your breath. Feel your body. Feel your life. That is where peace begins. Right here, right now, in this silent moment. Let it grow. Let it guide you. Let it stay, because your peace, your deep, unshakable peace, begins with silence. Section 4. Self-reflection and emotional intelligence. Silence teaches you many things, but one of the most powerful is this. It shows you yourself. In the noise of life, it is hard to think, hard to feel, hard to understand who you are. But when everything is quiet, you begin to hear your own thoughts, your real thoughts, not the ones shaped by fear, not the ones shaped by others, but the ones that live deep inside you. This is self-reflection. It is the act of looking within, of asking questions, and listening for answers. In silence, the mirror turns inward. You begin to see the patterns in your life. You begin to notice your habits, your beliefs, your reactions. And with this awareness, you begin to change. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why did I react like that? What do I truly want? These questions open doors. They unlock parts of you that were hidden. And in that process, you grow. You do not need a therapist to begin. You do not need a journal. You just need silence. Sit in a quiet place. Let your thoughts rise. Let your emotions speak. Listen without fear. Do not run from the hard questions. Do not hide from the answers. Just be there, with yourself, in full honesty. That is how self-awareness begins. And with self-awareness comes emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is not just feeling. It is knowing your feelings and knowing how to handle them. When you feel angry, can you pause and reflect? Can you see the reason behind the rage? Can you choose a better response? That is emotional strength. That is wisdom. Silence gives you that power, because when you react in noise, you act without thinking. You say things you regret. You act from pain. But in silence, you pause. You reflect. You learn. You begin to understand others too, because when you understand your own emotions, you become more patient with theirs. You start to listen more. You stop judging so fast. You begin to feel what others feel. That is called empathy. And empathy grows in silence. You sit with someone's pain. You say nothing, but you are present, and they feel it. That is emotional intelligence. Silence also helps you break harmful patterns. Maybe you always avoid conflict. Maybe you always please others. Maybe you always blame yourself. In the noise, you do not see it, but in silence, it becomes clear. And when it becomes clear, you can begin to heal. You can ask, why do I do this? Where did this start? How can I change? And little by little, you do change. Not by force, not by guilt, but by awareness. Silence gives you the space to make better choices. You are no longer reacting. You are responding. There is a difference. Reaction is fast. It comes from fear or habit. Response is slow. It comes from understanding. In silence, you become more thoughtful, more calm, more kind. This does not mean you are perfect. It means you are present. Present with yourself. Present with your feelings. Present with the world. So take the time to reflect. Take the time to pause. Take the time to sit with yourself in silence. Ask yourself what you need. Ask yourself what you feel. Ask yourself what you fear. Listen. Truly listen. Because inside of you, there is a wise voice, a loving voice, a strong voice. It only speaks in silence. It only comes when you are ready to listen. So do not run from the silence. Do not fear it. It is not empty. It is full of truth. And that truth is what sets you free. That truth is what helps you grow. That truth is what makes you strong. So make time for silence. Make time to reflect. Make time to feel. This is how you develop emotional intelligence. This is how you build self-awareness. This is how you grow into your best self. In silence, you meet you. And that is the beginning of real change. Section 5. Silence as healing medicine. Silence heals. Not just your mind, but your body, too. We often think healing means action. Take a pill. Do something. Fix it fast. But some healing needs no action. It needs stillness. It needs space. It needs silence. When life gets hard, we look for noise. We distract ourselves. We stay busy. We avoid the pain. But silence invites the pain to speak. It allows your wounds to be seen. It gives space for emotions to rise. And when emotions rise, healing begins. Think about a time you felt broken, lost, tired, confused. Did noise help? Or did silence hold you in a gentle way? Silence never demands. It never pushes. It just stays. And that is what makes it so powerful. You sit quietly. You feel what you need to feel. You cry if you must. You breathe through the pain. And slowly, the weight begins to lift. Science agrees. Studies show that silence reduces stress. It lowers blood pressure. It helps your heart. It helps your brain rest. When your brain rests, it repairs. New cells are created. Your body heals. Even your immune system gets stronger. Why? Because stress weakens the body, and silence reduces stress. It is a simple link, but a strong one. Silence is not a break from life. It is a bridge to healing. It reconnects you to yourself, to your needs, to your body. Sometimes the body speaks softly. A tight chest, a sore neck, a racing heart. In silence, you notice these signs. You understand what they mean, and you begin to care for them. You stretch, you rest, you breathe deeply, and healing begins. Silence also helps with emotional pain, grief, heartbreak, loss. There are no perfect words for these things, but silence holds them all. You do not need to explain your pain. You just need space to feel it. And silence gives you that space. You sit with your sadness. You sit with your fear. You sit with your memories. And you let them move through you, like waves, one at a time. In time, those waves get smaller. They hurt less. They soften. And then healing comes. You smile again. You breathe easier. You feel lighter. Not because everything is fixed, but because you allowed the silence to do its work. This is the power of inner stillness. No noise. No rush. Just presence. Your presence. With your pain. With your heart. With your truth. That is healing. Silence also helps prevent burnout. When you go too fast for too long, you begin to break. Your mind gets foggy. Your body feels tired. Your emotions feel numb. But when you take time for silence, you rest before you collapse. You fill your cup. You recharge your energy. You breathe. It is like coming home to yourself. You do not need a week off. Sometimes 5 minutes of silence can help. A quiet walk, a moment alone, a deep breath. These moments add up. They restore your balance. They keep you well. Silence is free. It is always there, waiting for you. You just need to say yes. So give yourself that gift. When you feel tired, be silent. When you feel lost, be silent. When you feel broken, be silent. Let silence hold you. Let it heal you. Let it bring you back to yourself. You deserve that. Healing is not always loud. Sometimes the softest path is the strongest one. And silence is that path. Simple, gentle, true. Let it guide you. Let it restore you. Let it remind you you are already whole. Section 6. Unlocking creativity and focus. Silence opens the door to your mind. It wakes up your imagination. It brings your thoughts into focus. In the world today, We are always busy, always moving, always surrounded by sound. We scroll, we tap, we talk, we rush. But creativity does not bloom in chaos. It blooms in calm. It needs space to grow. It needs silence. When you remove the noise, your mind can finally breathe. It begins to wander. It begins to play. That is when new ideas come. You think of things you never noticed before. You imagine things that excite you. You solve problems in ways you never thought of. This is not magic. It is silence. It gives your brain room to connect the dots. It allows your thoughts to stretch. It gives you time to explore. Think about great artists, writers, musicians, inventors. They often say their best ideas came in quiet moments. A walk alone, a still night, a pause in the day. Silence lets the mind be free. Free to think, free to feel, free to create. It does not force anything. It invites. And in that invitation, inspiration appears. When you are quiet, you begin to listen inside. You hear a whisper, a new thought, a gentle spark. That spark grows. It becomes an idea, then a plan, then something real. Silence also improves focus. You can only create when you can focus, but noise breaks your attention. It pulls you in many directions. It leaves you tired and scattered. In silence, you return to one thing, one task, one thought, one goal, and you go deep. This deep focus is powerful. It is called flow. In flow, time disappears, distractions fade, and you give your full energy to what matters. That is where your best work happens, not in noise, not in rush, but in silence. You do not need hours of quiet. Even 10 minutes can help. A quiet space, a break from the screen, a walk with no phone. These small moments recharge your focus. They sharpen your thinking. They renew your mind. And the more you practice silence, the more your creativity grows. Your ideas become clearer. Your thoughts become sharper. Your work becomes deeper. You begin to trust your inner voice. You follow your vision. You stop needing outside noise to feel inspired. Your mind becomes your favorite place. Calm, creative, alive. But here is something important. Creativity is not only for artists. You can be creative in business, in parenting, in problem solving, in daily life. We all need creative thinking, and silence gives us that gift. It also gives us courage, because when you are silent, you face your thoughts. You ask, what do I really want to create? What do I truly believe? What excites me? What scares me? And slowly you begin to act. You try. You learn. You grow. That is the creative journey. It starts with stillness. It starts with listening. It starts with you. Silence helps you find your voice. Not the loudest voice, but the truest one. And from that voice, you build something beautiful. A story, a business, an idea, a life. So make time for silence. Protect your focus. Protect your energy. Shut off the noise for a while. Sit with a notebook. Take a walk. Close your eyes. Let the world fade. Let the ideas rise. Your best thoughts are waiting. They are already inside you. They just need space. They need silence. And once they appear, everything changes. You see more. You feel more. You create more. Not from pressure, not from noise, but from peace. That is the real power of silence. It makes your mind come alive. It lights a spark. Then it gives you the focus to turn that spark into something real. So, give yourself that gift. Today, each day, one quiet moment, one focused thought, one creative step forward, and slowly you will build something that only you can create, all because you made room for silence. Section 7. Relationships, Communication, and Listening. Silence is not just personal. It is also powerful in relationships. We often think connection means talking, more words, more noise, more replies. But sometimes true connection needs less. Sometimes it needs silence. Have you ever sat with someone in silence and still felt close? That moment, no talking, no pressure, just presence. That is the kind of silence that builds trust. It says, I see you, I hear you, I am with you. No words needed. Silence can be more honest than speech. It can carry meaning without confusion. When someone is hurting, silence can comfort more than advice. You do not have to fix anything. You just need to stay present, to sit quietly beside them. That quiet support is love in its softest form. Silence also makes you a better listener. And listening is the heart of all strong communication. But real listening is rare. Most people just wait to talk. They do not hear. They react. They interrupt. Silence changes that. When you stay quiet and listen deeply, you hear more. Not just the words, but the emotions, the pauses, the meaning behind the message. You hear pain. You hear hope. You hear fear. You hear love. And when someone feels heard, they feel valued. They open up. They trust you. That is what real communication is. Not speaking more, but understanding better. Silence teaches you how to do that. In arguments, silence is a powerful tool. When emotions rise, words can become weapons. But if you pause, if you choose silence instead of reaction, you give space. You let things cool down. You let your mind settle. You avoid saying something you might regret. And in that pause, respect is saved. Peace returns. Silence does not mean weakness. It means wisdom. It says, I care more about the connection than about being right. That choice can save a relationship. Silence also teaches patience. You do not have to respond right away. You can listen. You can reflect. You can wait. Then you can speak from calm, not from anger, not from fear. This makes your words stronger, softer, more true. People begin to trust your silence. They know you are not just reacting. You are thinking. You are feeling. And when you do speak, your words have weight. They matter because silence shaped them. Even in love, silence plays a role. Not every moment needs to be filled. Some of the best memories are quiet, a peaceful walk, a gentle hug, a shared sunset. No words, just presence. Silence says, I feel safe with you. I do not need to perform. I can just be. That is powerful. That kind of bond runs deep. It grows from respect, from understanding, from stillness. But remember, silence must be used with care. Too much silence at the wrong time can feel like distance. So use silence to listen, to reflect, to be present, not to shut down, not to avoid, not to hide. Balance is key. Stillness must walk beside connection. Speak when needed, but do not fear the quiet. It holds space for truth. It creates room for healing. It lets love grow slowly. In families, silence can ease tension. In friendships, it can deepen trust. In teams, it can build respect. Use silence in your relationships, not as a wall, but as a bridge to better understanding, to deeper care, to lasting connection, because silence is not the absence of love. It is the space where love can breathe. It is the pause that makes the music sweeter. It is the stillness between two hearts. So listen with silence, love with silence, grow with silence, and you will see your relationships will change. They will become softer, stronger, more real, all because you chose to be present, without noise, without pressure, just with love. Section 8. The Balanced Life, Letting Go and Growing. Life moves fast. You rush. You plan. You chase. You try to do it all. But in all this movement, you often lose something. You lose your balance. Silence brings it back. A balanced life is not a perfect one. It is not always calm. It is not always easy. But it is steady. It is peaceful inside, even when things are loud outside. That kind of peace comes from one place: silence. Silence helps you let go. Let go of stress. Let go of fear. Let go of what no longer serves you. Sometimes holding on feels safe, but it drains your energy. It fills your mind with noise. In silence, you realize that. You begin to ask, why am I holding this? Is it helping me? Or is it hurting me? And in that space, you give yourself permission to release. You let go of people who bring you pain. You let go of habits that hold you back. You let go of thoughts that keep you small. It is not easy, but it is freeing. And silence walks with you as you do it, because silence is gentle. It does not force you to change. It invites you. It supports you. It stays with you. In silence, you remember what matters: your health, your peace, your purpose. You begin to see life clearly again. And with that clarity, you can grow. Growth is not loud. It is not a big moment. It is slow. It is quiet. It is silent. You grow when you reflect. You grow when you rest. You grow when you pause. And that pause, that moment of stillness, is what gives you the strength to keep going. A balanced life has rhythm, push and pause, effort and ease, work and rest, noise and silence. You need both. But most people forget the second half. They forget the silence. And without it, they burn out. So choose balance. Make silence part of your day. Make space for stillness. Make time for quiet. You can start small. Turn off your phone for 10 minutes. Go for a walk with no music. Wake up early and just breathe. Sit at night and listen to your heart. These small habits change everything. They slow your breath. They calm your mind. They ground your emotions. Over time, they shape your life. You start responding instead of reacting. You start creating instead of copying. You start listening instead of talking. And that is the balanced life. A life of intention. A life of presence. A life of peace. Silence is the root. It is the soil. It is where growth begins. You do not need more. You need less. Less noise. Less rush. Less pressure. And more stillness. More clarity. More truth. You already have what you need. It lives inside you, and silence will help you find it. So breathe, pause, let go, and let silence guide you forward. Because a quiet mind is a strong mind. A quiet heart is a full heart, and a quiet life is a balanced life. Let the silence stay with you, not just in this moment, but every day, as a habit, as a teacher, as a friend. This is your space. This is your peace. This is your balance. Welcome to the power of silence.